Hey guys, today we're back with an everyday look for fall, and starting with this Cargo CC cream. I picked this up at Winners, I think, a little while ago. It's cool. It starts white, but then if you dot it on, it kind of adjusts to the color that you want to be. Be sure to start, as always, with a clean, moisturized face. Although this is pretty hydrating. I've used it a couple times and it's quite moisturizing on its own, but I still like to kind of add a little something underneath. I think it just helps your makeup go on smoother. Just put this everywhere. I'm kind of focusing where more of the redness in her face is. Just for an everyday look, I don't think you need to necessarily go for something super heavy. I think the BB cream or, you know, a tinted moisturizer is a really good way to go. Next, I'm going to conceal under the eye and just any blemishes with the Eve Pearl Salmon Concealer. It's nice. This has two colors, so you kind of get a more salmony, pinky one to cancel out the blue underneath the eye, and a more peachy one just to actually cancel out any blemishes. I'm actually going to use both. Right underneath the iris, I'm going to take the lighter sort of neutral color, and then right in the corner where the blueness is, that's where I'm going to tap the salmon color. And the texture of the Eve Pearl Salmon Concealers is amazing. It's just so lipped, almost a mousse-like texture. It's beautiful, so you can really just work it in with your fingers. You don't need a brush. You could use a brush. What I normally use for this concealer, if I don't want to use my fingers, is what I use. I think I use the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and you just tap it in. That is one of my favorite brushes for concealer, though. And just to hide any of the veins above, I'm going to take a little bit of the neutral color and just cancel out any of the veins up here. Next, we're going to start with the eyes. I'm just going to do one color. I think this is a great color for fall. It's by Burberry and it's called Pale Barley. This is a nice mid-tone gold. I love this. It's a taupey, goldy, it's one of those miracle colors that you can't really describe, but it just adds a nice depth to the eye. I'm grabbing a MAC 217, just picking that up with my brush, dust off, and then putting that right really close to the lash line. I think for every day, you don't really need to go all out with the eyeshadow. I think just a little bit of a haze around the eye is really effective, really simple, and it's just really easy. I actually find eyeshadow much easier than liner, just because you don't have to be too neat about it, especially when you use a sheer kind of neutral color like this. Just kind of go over both eyes and just check every so often to make sure that you've got the same amount on both eyes. And don't poke yourself in the eye with your eyeshadow brush. Look up for me. And then just dust a little bit underneath the eye as well. That'll kind of give you that smoky, but still like appropriate for everyday look. And because we're using a big fluffy brush like this, it'll really smoke out the eye and nothing will be too hazy or too sort of detailed. Kind of get that really intense look, but you still kind of get a nice depth to the eye and really define the socket that way. Next, I'm going to move on to eyebrows. I'm using the Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil in Soft Brunette. And if you're as fair as Todd, you probably should define your brows. I actually think if you want to skip a step, I would skip eyeshadow and put a little brow on, just because brows really change your face. And just start slow with the brow. I kind of like to start in the middle and then work my way out to either end. What's great about this pencil is that it's a triangle shape, so it's kind of already got the shape of the hairs built in for you, versus some of the brow pencils are more of a pencil shape, which is great for detailed work, but for every day, this just works a lot faster for you. Because this CC cream dries relatively matte, I'm not going to powder. I just think, I mean, if you feel a little bit shiny, you can powder throughout the day, but I just love how sort of natural this finish is. I'm not going to powder, but I am going to add a little bit of powdered blush, and that'll kind of help keep any shine down. I'm taking a NARS Yachiyo and just blending all three colors of this peachy blush together, and then just right on the cheekbone, really high, kind of give you a little lift. Just gives a really nice flush. I think this just looks so natural and so sort of fresh. Perfect. do a coat of mascara. I think this helps everybody kind of wake up in the morning. You could curl your lashes if you want, but not necessary if you have a good curling mascara. Look down. And then just really work the brush into the roots of the lashes. That'll almost give you an eyeliner-like look. This one is They're Real for Benefit. I find this brush a little bit spiky, so just be really careful if you're putting it on yourself or others. It's a nice black mascara though. And as a finishing touch, I'm just going to use this really peachy lipstick. It kind of goes with the color in her cheeks. This is by LeClerc and it's called number 32 Tweed. And this is a beautiful formula lipstick. It's really hydrating and just really satiny on the lip. So just press that on. Usually I like to do like a nice like base and then press in with my finger just to make it really natural. And then just kind of, yeah, dab it onto the lip. It'll give you kind of a more natural sort of lived-in look.
Ah, cute! I look so tan.
I know, you look so like healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a nice eyeshadow or eyebrow brush. I like it.
you like it? Yeah, no, I tried it a little bit ago, but it's super like.
I need the brows. Lately I've been like I was like sick and then I didn't put anything on, but I did the brows.
Yeah, no, brows are a must.
I know.